and a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the Wolfsbane blooms.
The autumn moon is bright.
The wolf creature! It's out there, isn't it? You've seen it, haven't you?
A strange beast, somewhat resembling a wolf.
Hello and welcome to When the Wolfsbane Blooms with
Sibyl Weber
and Matt Perrotta. And this is our very first episode where we're going to be talking about probably one of the most classic werewolf movies.
Yeah, you might not have heard of it. It's 1941's The Wolfman, starring...
Why are you pointing at me? You know the information about
Lon Chaney Jr. as the Wolfman.
Okay.
And...
For those who can't see, which is all of you, I'm picking up my notes because I don't know the cast off the top of my head. What
Matt
do you
knows
want
nothing
from me?
About horror or any of these fucking movies.
Okay,
You're a big fake fan.
That's so untrue. This is also like only the second time I've watched this movie.
All right, let's talk about the Universal monsters then.
All right.
Oh, ciao. Matt, what do you think of the movie?
I enjoyed it. I actually very much enjoyed it. More than I thought I would, and that is, I've noticed that that's a trend when I watch a lot of older movies, that I enjoy them a lot more than I thought I would going into.
What, do you just hate older movies?
No, I'm not saying that I hate them, but I usually go into them being like, okay, yeah, this is a movie, and I'm going to watch it, and it'll probably be fine. And then we end up watching the movie, and it's... I don't know, it's better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, one example that comes to mind, I watched Paper Moon a couple months ago, and yeah, I loved it. It was a phenomenal movie.
Okay.
That's it.
Do you know much about, like, the Universal monsters, or did you have any preconceived notion going into the movie?
I feel like I have a very baseline perception of the Universal monsters, kind of what most people have just from popular media of werewolf, especially like the Wolfman image of it, with like the more humanoid face and the two little pointy ears and the like ring of fur around the face of, it's the slow-moving, scary werewolf coming out of the trees. And
Slow-moving?
Well, yeah, see, that's what I thought going in. That was my initial perception of, like, all the old monster movies kind of have, like, the person screaming in the background and cornered against a wall, and then the monster slowly, like, with the hands up, like, claws just kind of inching towards them.
Yeah, you're doing the motion of, like, is it... Chinese or Japanese vampires that do the jumping?
That is a great question. I cannot answer with 100% certainty, but I know what you're talking about.
They show up in a lot of Castlevania games, so I would guess Japanese, but I know nothing.
But also just like the stereotypical like Frankenstein pose of like the arms out, the hands outstretched, is kind of like the idea that I had with so many of these Universal monsters.
That Frankenstein 1931 may be one of my favorite movies.
Really?
I love that movie so much, and I love it so much more than the book. Mm-hmm. That's about it. That's all. Like,
I mean, I feel like eventually we're going to cover that on this once we get into like extras and adjacent media and so on.
I don't think so. Frankenstein, really? I don't think is enough because it's not transformation-like.
I suppose so. Well, I feel like we could do like a specials night where we just focus on the classic monsters rather than just werewolves.
I mean, we can do whatever we want.
That is true. We do have free will.
So, your understanding of Universal monsters. Mm-hmm. Have you seen any of the other ones?
Dracula.
Just Dracula?
Yes.
Starring?
Don't do this to me.
Come on, who's Dracula?
What do you mean? I feel like this is so obvious and I should know.
It is fucking obvious. You've said his name.
Did I?
Yeah.
Is it Van Dyke? Who the fuck did I say? Who did I say? What person did
He's
I say?
in The Wolfman.
Oh, is it Bela?
Yeah, Bela Lugosi.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the reason that he's sort of stand out is he plays Dracula.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was completely unaware of that.
And what's...
I also need to cut off the face you just made when I suggested that it might be Dick Van Dyke who played Dracula.
Stop saying Dick Van Dyke. He's not in any of these movies.
I love saying Dick Van
He's
Dyke.
just old now.
He is just old.
Jim Jiminy, Jim Jimmery, Jim Jim Jeru. So you've seen Dracula.
I have seen Dracula.
Didn't care about it enough to remember the man's name.
I saw it when I was like 7.
It's a good age to see it. I showed my 6-year-old little brother when he was 6 Frankenstein, because it's like that is the perfect time to watch those movies. It's like they're old. You haven't like gotten too much into the YouTube like iPod scrolling that it's really, really boring.
Yeah.
And it terrified him. Like when it came to like Frankenstein being like, it's alive, doctor.
I do remember.
What's the doctor's name?
Huh?
Dr.
Victor Frankenstein?
No, you fucking idiot.
What are you talking about?
His name's Henry.
What are you talking about?
Dr. Henry Frankenstein.
No, it's... Oh my god, it is Henry in the movie, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
Oh,
They swap Henry and Victor's names.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. That I did know.
That's fun.
I have never seen the movie, but I was aware of that because actually you told me, like, years ago.
Yeah, it's a fun fact. I love it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So yes, Dr. Henry Frankenstein just, it's alive. And my younger brother was just like, no, my God, like something raising from the dead. And sharing horror movies with people is really, it's such a bonding thing. I do it so much. I also do it on like every date I have. Like somehow we just get to watching a horror movie. Either I make them, or no, I rarely make them. I normally just talk about how important it is to me. And then they're like, I'd like to watch this one. I'm like, well, good for you. I own it.
Again, for all the people who can't currently see us, which is everybody, Sibyl just gestured over to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Why are you counting?
17 whole cupboards. Each one is about like a foot by a foot?
Yeah.
17 whole little like cupboards, cabinets, whatever you want to call them, just stacked full of DVDs.
I love me some DVDs and Blu-rays.
How did you even get that many?
Well, you know how I've been alive for many years?
Yeah, I guess that'll do it.
I purchase movies and I love them.
Yeah, that's fair.
It used to be the only way to see them.
That is true.
And also, they're just cool.
They are cool. You've shown me some of your like really, really cool movie sleeves, which I will say are, some of them are really worth
It's
it.
fucking cool.
You have one in
I mean, how did we watch The Wolfman?
It's a DVD. Actually, it's a big old thing with like, yeah, there it is.
The Universal Classic Monsters complete 30 film collection. It's a good one. It's got me through a lot.
Oh, wait, I totally did not realize that Phantom of the Opera and Invisible Man were included in that. I have seen both of those as well.
Have you seen that Phantom of the Opera, though? Because there's many different versions.
Which one is that?
Probably like 50, maybe 60? No,
Yes,
not
I believe
60.
I believe so, because my dad
It was
has
40s,
it.
wasn't it?
I do believe my dad has it.
Who's the main actor?
I don't know.
Well, that's how I'll be able to tell. That one's 43.
I saw all of these as a child.
So,
Okay.
all right, I'm going to talk about
Yeah.
it. Universal Monsters recycles actors a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you remember who the actor for Wolfman is?
I do not remember his name.
It is Lon Chaney Jr.
Heard.
Can you guess his father's name?
Is it Lon Chaney Sr.?
Yes!
Whoa! I got something right for the first time.
Lon Chaney Sr. is a super influential and just like powerhouse of early Hollywood. He only did one non-silent film. He is, in my mind, he's like the key Phantom of the Opera. And I got a box set with his face on it around here somewhere. He pioneered a crap ton of makeup for film, because originally transitioning into film, everyone just did like stage makeup and just didn't know how that worked. And Lon Chaney Sr. would do his own makeup. I think he went like blind in one eye because of it. because he would just sometimes use stuff that he shouldn't have used.
That's
for
crazy.
the Phantom of the Opera. Like he was known as like the man of 1,000 faces, maybe 1,000,000.
Mm-hmm.
And Phantom of the Opera, to make like a skull effect, right? He'd darken around his eyes, and he'd take this like wire, he'd put it in his nose and bend it upwards, so that his nose would be sort of like upwards and be more skull-like. He is a crazy cool guy, and that's the 20s. I believe 1920 was the year. Silent Phantom of the Opera. I was doing some reading before this. Lon Chaney Jr. did not do any acting until his dad's death in like 1930.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at... Yes, this is the one that I've seen. Yeah. I'm seeing what you mean by like the nose being pointed up. That's crazy. That's
Isn't
a
it?
wire?
Yeah.
Oh my
He does
goodness.
such a good job. That movie is really special.
It's terrifying.
It's great.
Absolutely terrifying.
It's so good.
I remember being absolutely scared shitless.
How old are you?
Again, like 7,
That's
8.
great. That's a good time.
Like, terrified.
to watch a silent film too?
Yeah, my dad has
That's
like a
rad.
bunch of these.
No, man, just cool.
My dad has specifically Phantom. My grandparents had VHSs of The Invisible Man, Dracula, and The Wolfman.
It's so good.
Yeah.
These are great movies. Mm-hmm. That Phantom of the Opera, best scene in that is the ending. He is just being chased by this crowd that is going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just everyone is coming. They got their torches. It's the typical like mob. And like, there's just something really sad about the like horrific, tragic character. I definitely need to revisit it. But so they got him, and they got him cornered. And in the last thing, he reaches into his cloak, and he brings something up in his hand. And the entire crowd stops. They're like, what the fuck does he have in his hand? And then he just opens it, and he doesn't have anything. And he's like, ah! And then they beat him to death.
Yeah.
And it's such a like, I got nothing.
Well, shit, they got me. Let's see if this works. See, it could have been really effective if... I love making AUs for movies from the 30s.
AU, Australia?
Alternative universe.
Interesting. I haven't heard universe for that.
Get on AO3, maybe.
That's gonna be...
Anyways,
All right.
if he just held out his hand and kept holding it out like he had something and be like scary about it, like and then they all back up like, oh, what's he got in his hand? And eventually they don't want to mess with him because he's got something in his hand, but they don't know what it is. Instead of being like, it's nothing, and they just beat him to death.
You want him to escape that moment, and they're just like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
he might have something in his hand."
Yeah.
Like, that's not gonna last longer
Yes,
than
it
a
will.
moment.
Yes,
No,
it will.
it's not.
Yes, it will.
No, it's
People are
not.
stupid. Scared people are stupid. They'll be like, "Oh, what's in his hand? I don't know, but he's a creepy, scary guy that looks slightly different from the rest of us. Maybe he can like conjure snakes in his pocket." Ooh, we don't know. They didn't know.
You're crazy. You're an insane person. All right.
Okay, let's talk about our good friend the Wolfie Man.
Why?
Why? Because I want to rate this movie. I want to talk about our werewolf scale.
Who?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because we totally didn't go into this with a plan or anything like that.
All right, Matt. Why are we doing this podcast?
We're doing this podcast because we want to talk about werewolves. I think we both really like werewolves, but for kind of two different reasons. You like it because you are probably like the biggest movie buff that I know in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't know anyone who's more of a movie buff? You don't know like a single film major?
I know numerous film majors, and all of them are not as big of movie buffs as you. I'm staring at your entire wall of movies right now.
Just because I like to purchase movies, I don't think that means I'm a movie buff.
You know the cast of all of these classic monster movies off the top of your head.
Oh, but they're so good. Look, They're iconic players. They're iconic. Like Lon Chaney Jr., everyone knows. The father in this was Claude Rains. Mm-hmm. He's the Invisible Man as well in the Invisible Man movies. He's also the 1941 Phantom of the Opera.
That I know because of Rocky Horror. Claude Rains in the Invisible Man.
Yeah, he does a really good job in that movie. Yeah. So, I came to you with the idea for this earlier this year, but I've had this idea for maybe 4 years.
Really?
It's been a really long time. And it really sort of started when I listened to, it was an Audible original, like one of those short courses from the Great Courses. And it was called Wolves and Werewolves in History and Popular Culture. It was done by Shannon Scott. And it is fantastic. It is just an absolute 4.5 hour deep dive into interpretations of werewolves and where did these myths come from. And it really made me beg the question, where does it all come from? When you think of vampires, what's your go-to vampire? What's the most iconic vampire?
Well, okay, the most iconic vampire, we're talking about either Nosferatu or Dracula.
Fucking Nosferatu's nothing compared to Dracula.
Okay, well, obviously Dracula's, massive, but, I mean,
Dracula's just crazy massive, so much so that Nosferatu is a ripoff of Dracula.
Okay, Sibyl, the most popular vampire is Dracula.
Yes, thank you. Frankenstein is just one story. It's not even an ongoing type of creature. You have these iconic creatures that are in the Universal Monsters and they go back to one thing. But the werewolf doesn't. Because right now we're going to talk about the Wolfsbane today, which has a ton of the creations of a lot of werewolf lore, but even then it's really, really different. Mm-hmm. And so this is all in an attempt of how do we explore these creatures? How do we do what we love? And how do we examine some of the really shit werewolf media as well? Because I want to watch the dumbest werewolves movies. The amount of werewolf movies I've seen that are the shittiest, low budget, whatever, is just a joy to me. I can't wait to get into watching the Howling series in this, in which the first one's iconic, the second one is dog shit, but it's got one of my favorite titles, Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf.
Starring Sir Christopher Lee.
And it sucks. The end credits of that film is just a still frame of the only shot of boobs in that entire movie.
Is it really?
And then the credits just roll by.
Is it really? I was completely unaware of that. That's, diabolical.
It's so funny.
Oh my god.
You get to the 6th and the 7th in that series.
Yeah.
And it is nothing. It's just some person with, a camera in Australia, I think. It is no money. I don't even know how they got the rights to it. It is insane. And so, I just would love to spend some time doing this deep dive and exploring why do we love these things so much.
Yeah.
Matt, why'd you agree to join me?
I agreed to join because, two things that really piqued my interest. A, I love talking about mythology and tracing different, modern interpretations of these fantastical creatures back to their roots, whether that be werewolves or vampires or so on, and so forth. I'm not going to start listing a billion things. But that, and also, what kicked this off, or what really got us talking, was our differing opinions on what makes a werewolf.
Well, you got a lot of really shit ones.
Okay, well, listen here. My turn to talk. I have the talking stick. Where?
Oh, don't get that out.
There we go. Talking stick, now in my hand.
Oh my god, he unzipped his pants. And now he's holding his dong. This is assault.
I'm holding a pen.
Yes.
I'm sorry that you cannot see this.
My prescription is overdue.
Yes. Clearly. What was I going to say?
I don't know. You have the talking stick.
I do have the talking stick. Oh! Anatomy. I like looking at the...
Red rockets.
Yes. I love looking at the red rockets of fictional creatures and mythological beings across all kinds of media. That's the only reason that I agreed to be on this show, actually.
I can't believe you just gave me a clean audio cut of that.
Wait, I did! Shit! I got too lost in the bit.
You just did a full line of something I can take out of context at any moment. I can put that in the intro.
I'm gonna fucking die!
It's a really loose episode. I'm sorry.
Oh my god! Okay, we just need to like restart and refilm this episode. This is episode 0. These idiots don't know what they're doing. Oh my god. No. What I was going to say is that I like looking at differing interpretations across media, and especially the difference in anatomy of generally the same creatures in different media. Not using werewolves, because we'll talk about werewolves plenty, but like dragons across media. Just looking at, let's say, the Hobbit series, let's say the Game of Thrones series, and then we'll throw in like How to Train Your Dragon. All of those are referred to as dragons, every single one of them. But all of them are so different in how they are portrayed, in how they are utilized in the world, in how they affect their environments. And looking at those differences between what is essentially the same animal, or what is called the same animal, is fascinating to me. Like, if you put an elephant in a movie and an elephant in another movie, generally it's going to behave like an elephant and look like an elephant because we have a clear, defined, tangible thing that exists in our world that is an elephant. We know how it behaves, we know what it does, and if you exaggerate some features about it, or if you exaggerate some behaviors about it, like if you look at the Mumakil in The Lord of the Rings, it looks like an elephant. It generally behaves like a war elephant, but it has blown up proportions and stuff. We have references for that. We don't have references for dragons or werewolves or vampires. And looking at those differences is what really, piques my interest. So, to go along with what we're doing here and looking at all of these different types of media, from the good and the enjoyable and the really in-depth depictions to the Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf.
Those werewolves look fine. They're cool anatomy.
They do look fine.
You should see the werewolves in Bone Hill Road.
You've made reference to that.
That's the one where they're in just really silly rubber suits, and then when the female werewolf turns,
it's just a conventionally attractive woman with wolf ears. And that's it.
Yeah, that's good. It's good.
But yeah, even looking at the differences between that, it's interesting. It's very, very fun. And very excited to actually start getting into, looking at all of these different depictions of werewolves. Because I think another big point that we need to talk about is how different werewolf mythology and behavior and lore is across different medias. I mean, when you think about vampires, generally there are the usual things of garlic and crosses and
stake through the heart.
Can't go out in the sun. Yep.
And those have really clear traces as well, right? So many of them. Dracula, stake through the heart. Dracula, I believe it mentions less power during sunlight. Nosferatu really was it'll kill you. Garlic, I believe, is in it. Cross is in Dracula. So much is in it. Werewolves? Well, we'll see. Right now, we have probably what is the most concrete, influential werewolf film today. And we'll see how much that compares.
Yeah.
Do you want to get in?
Yeah, sure.
I've got the synopsis.
Heard. Take it away.
The Wolfman, 1941. Written by Kurt Siodmak. I really don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sidmak? I should have looked it up.
Yeah.
And directed by George Wagner, is a spooky tale that cemented the title creature in the canon of the Universal Monsters. The Werewolf of London can eat this werewolf's dirt. Don't care that it was made like 7 years earlier. It sucks compared to this one. Who knows the Werewolf of London? Plants? Fuck off. Our main character, Larry Talbot, played by Lon Chaney Jr., not to be confused with Lon Chaney Sr., who played iconic monsters in Universal Monster movies. So it's very easy to tell them apart. Is a big old creep who peers through ladies' windows and doesn't take no for an answer. What will happen when he gets bit by a werewolf? Who knows? Probably something spooky.
That was a mildly opinionated synopsis.
How so?
Werewolf of London that we haven't even looked at yet.
Oh, it's a fine movie, but it can eat dirt.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you know about Werewolf of London?
Nothing. There's a werewolf and I presume it's
none
in
of
London.
None of it really stays. It's a plant. I don't even remember. We really got to rewatch that one.
Okay, heard, yeah.
The Wolfman, 1941, Lon Chaney Jr., you got Bela Lugosi, you got Claude Rains. You've got an all-star cast. Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. Honestly, I really enjoyed it because it kind of blew my perception of the Universal monster movies out of the water. Like I was talking about, I had this very certain image in my head of all of the monsters kind of being slow moving and very telegraphed and over dramatic. And in this movie, he's kind of running around through the woods all creepy
He's a fucking wolf, man.
It's fun. It's it's very engaging to watch, and the moments of violence and action are very well done and very grounded. It's not. I feel like my perception of these movies, especially for the violence, was the violence was going to be off screen. It would be very over dramatic and slow, and the knife goes in the chest and it's oh, I've been stabbed. And instead, we just see Lon Chaney beating the crap out of some unseen thing with a cane over and over. It's very visceral and especially graphic for the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's real. It's a good movie. There's the Universal Monsters movies. They do a pretty good job of horror, and it's a lot of times it's really muted for the time. But they're a lot more complex than they really had any right to be. I mean, Frankenstein, 1931. I believe that's before the Hays Code, before things sort of mellowed out even a bit more. It's a really intense story, and it's really powerful, and I think the message of it gets across really clear because you create this monster, and it's not intelligent in any way. It's just I'm here, I don't know what the hell's going on, and it's hurting people because it's being hurt, and it's these things that maybe we're abusing in life, there's more to it. You relate to the monster more than you do the person, and even then, with the Wolfman, you have that exact struggle where you got Lon Chaney Jr., and he's I don't want to hurt people, but I am hurting people. And it really does a really good job of building up that dread. It has the werewolf mythos of silver, and it has the pentagram, which is really, I think, only seen in this. I can't think of another example that really talks about the pentagram.
Neither can I, and it's especially because it labels it as the mark of the beast, which, correct me if I'm wrong, typically the mark of the beast is a scratch mark. That's what I've come to know it as.
I don't know. I don't know necessarily what you're referring to. If you're talking the biblical, the beast, number of the beast, 666.
I could totally be wrong, and maybe I'm just thinking of something else, but when I heard Mark of the Beast and saw the pentagram, I was oh, that's new, but also that's something new to be associated with a werewolf.
Very much so. But it has a really powerful effect with this, where the werewolf sees the pentagram on the palm of his next victim, and Lon Chaney Jr. sees it on the palm of the lady he likes, the lady he was perving on at the beginning of the film, and that he wouldn't take no for an answer from. And you know what? Over time, it sort of worked. She really was fond of him, despite the fact that she had a fiancé, and he wouldn't take no. I mean, the scene where he's like in the shop and he's like, well, how would you like to come to the fair with me at 8? And she's like, no. And he's like, I'll pick you up at 8. She goes, no.
All right, I'll be here at 8.
Then, no. And then he's just leaving. And she's like, could not be saying more clearly, like, no, that's not what's going to happen.
I am engaged. I have a fiance. You don't need to pick me up for this thing that I will not go with you to.
Yeah.
And then he shows up anyway.
Yeah.
And they do the thing.
Yeah, but she brings a friend because she's like, don't worry, I got some other hot stuff for you to pawn off.
Yeah.
But she gets moited. Moited by Bela. Fuck.
Bela. Yeah. Gets absolutely dunked on by the first werewolf of the movie, who we are not aware is a werewolf, but we were given like little tiny subtle hints, but you really only piece it together afterwards.
Really? I think it's pretty clear.
I did not.
You didn't?
No. And like I've seen this movie before when I was much younger.
Yeah.
And even then I completely did not recognize that Bela was the werewolf.
Yeah. So Bela reads the fortune. And he's reading the palm of this person, this friend of the main woman. And he looks at her palm and he sees the pentagram, I believe.
Yes, he does.
And then he's just like really stressed. He's like, oh no, I'm about to kill this woman.
You gotta get out of here.
Get
you
out
can't
of
be
here.
anywhere near me.
And so she leaves. She stops to pick some Wolfsbane. Which we do have to talk about that. Mm-hmm. There is not an S there.
No.
And in the intro, it also goes, even a man who is pure of heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the Wolfsbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright.
Wow, that would make a really cool title for a podcast.
But we're going to add an S.
But we're going to add an S.
It just seems cooler for Wolfsbane. Wolfsbane doesn't have the same flow, I don't think.
Well, yeah, I mean, S's make flow in a word. So you have Wolfsbane as opposed to Wolfsbane.
Okay.
Whoa.
All right, you're weird.
What the fuck do you mean?
You're weird. You're weirding me out.
I'm agreeing with your point.
All right. I don't need you to agree with my point.
Oh, okay.
So Bela, he transforms. And when he transforms, it's just a wolf. This is a pretty key thing about the transformation here. When Bela transforms, it is a normal-looking wolf. You cannot distinguish it. He attacks and he kills this lady. And Lon Chaney Jr. has purchased a silver cane in his attempts to woo the lady. It's got the head of the beast. It's got the wolf on it, which actually it was made from a old cane that had a boar's head on it.
Really?
And it was remade to be a wolf.
Interesting. Very fun.
And he beats that wolf to death with that silver cane. Mm-hmm. Silver works against a werewolf, kills it, but he gets bitten in the process, and so he is the next one to become.
Does it... I don't remember if it does. I might have it in my notes. Does it ever explain why Bela is just a straight-up wolf, whereas...
No, there's really not like anything said that's like why they're different in any way. But Bela was cursed to be the werewolf, and he's that normal wolf. And the wolf man is instead this like really heavy makeup. He's got the like shaggy little beard. He's got the hair. You pointed out as we were watching the movie, he magically changes clothes.
Yes, he does.
Into almost like a janitor's like...
Yeah, with like the plaid button down and like overalls, I believe. Or no, it's not overalls. I think it's just it's a pair of slacks. But completely different from everything else.
Yeah, he was wearing like dress shirt and stuff.
Yeah.
And it does such a good like transformation scene that I really like.
That's another thing. The transformation effects are phenomenal. Also going on like just there's one shot where we watch, I think it's his feet transforming from human into the wolf over like a couple frames.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to watch. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, I'd also say that like the acting that leads up to all that, where Lon Chaney is like, oh God, like, am I about to turn into a wolf? Am I about to turn into a wolf? And he's just like sort of taking off his clothes, not and in a sort of like, I'm a werewolf, but like, is there hair growing on me? Am I turning into a wolf? And it's like, no, I'm fine. And then he's like, wait, like looking down, he's like, oh, I haven't seen my pants. And like he pulls up his pant leg and he's a ton more hair.
Yeah.
Like it's such a like, oh no. And the dread of that just about to happen. Now, the makeup in this film, I've learned recently, was done by Jack Pierce. I read a little booklet that came with my Classic Monsters DVD set, my Classic Monsters DVD set. It took 10 hours to do that makeup.
10 hours?
10 hours.
And that was filmed over multiple days. No?
What do you mean?
The movie. So multiple times to do that makeup.
Yes, yeah, there's multiple instances of that transformation.
Multiple times. 10 hours.
10 hours.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And so especially like that camera like coming back and showing the slow transformation. It looks a bit silly in the fact that it's a 1941 effects, but they did a ton. They put like boar's hair is what makes up some of the face stuff.
My goodness.
And there's a bunch of like grease paint. It really is pretty spectacular. And then you got the wolf. And there's a reason this wolf, makes it. Lon Chaney Jr. referred to this role as his little baby. Although we will see he plays a lot of other monsters as we go through the Universal horror ones. He has played Frankenstein. He has played Dracula. He's played the Mummy. Now you say something.
I will say, you did just say that the effect is a little bit goofy because it's a 1940s effect. It didn't take me out of the movie at all.
Great. Good to hear.
Honestly, I think it just adds to the aesthetic of this kind of movie. I don't know. I don't know how exactly to describe it, but I feel like the transformation fit perfectly well in it. And honestly, the design of the Wolfman was thoroughly convincing to me. Like, I'm not saying that I was like, oh my god, the Wolfman, he could be out there. He might be coming in my bedroom.
He might, though. You don't know, he's so spooky.
And that is true. He is quite spooky as he, like, crawls through windowsills. But genuinely, very effective Wolfman design. Very, very effective werewolf design. I greatly enjoyed it.
It is a very different type of werewolf than what we normally would expect. It's like, it's completely bipedal. At no point is it not being bipedal. Doesn't have a snout in any sort of form.
It looks very human.
It's very human.
Very, very, very human. Like, you can very clearly tell that this is a guy. That this is you can tell it's Lon Chaney. Like, it's very, very obvious. Whereas, like, a lot of the other depictions that we're going to get into, I believe next we're doing Van Helsing, has a very distinctly bestial wolf-like look.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more akin to what I would consider the perfect example of a werewolf. However, we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, you picked the film because of that.
Van Helsing?
Yeah.
I did put Van Helsing next in the list because that werewolf, to my memory, is like the perfect werewolf. Just in general.
We'll talk about it. It's pretty good.
We will talk about it.
But even that, like, this is so iconic. It inflicts so much. I was reading, and that little booklet that I was reading that came with my DVD collection claims that this screenwriter, Kurt Siodmak, I really don't know how to pronounce that name.
Our good buddy Kurt.
Good old Kurt. He is sort of credited with adding to this werewolf mythology that it's the full moon transformation, that it's a silver bullet that kills a werewolf. Yeah, I forgot the other one that it attributes to him. But, like, he wrote that poem at the start.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That does not come from any sort of history thing that I can find. It is just a poem he's made. And in later films, we'll see Frankenstein meets the Wolfman, I believe. It's changed. And it's not when the autumn moon is bright. It's when the full moon is bright.
Because in this movie, it's not just a full moon. It's just, like, generally during the autumn. Because this does take place over,
Do you think he stops becoming a werewolf during the summer?
Yes. And the winter. And the spring. I think for most of the year, he's not
He's
a
just
werewolf.
completely normal.
Yeah.
He's chilling.
And then, like, somebody's like, oh my god, I can't wait. Summer's going to come to an end. I can't wait to get my pumpkin spice latte. And he's over there, like, white-knuckling his chair, like, fuck,
And it's such a pain because he loves pumpkin spice too.
He loves pumpkin spice.
God damn it.
I know that Lon Chaney Jr. is a fan of the pumpkin spice lattes, but autumn is going to be such a difficult time.
He's sitting there. It's in the full moon. He's like, no, barista, hurry up,
Please, I need my late night pumpkin spice shot. Please.
no, the moon.
Oh, but yeah, that is really interesting because the events of this movie take place over like numerous nights.
Yeah, but it's not super long. It is just like
It is not super long. I believe it's over the span of like a week.
pretty much.
Yeah, which is longer than a full moon. Full moon is usually like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, it's
So,
definitely not a full moon in this one.
Yeah, which quite fun, quite interesting. Another thing, it's not just the silver bullets, but it's any kind of silver.
Yeah, it's silver in general.
Yeah.
And I was reading that booklet. I don't know if in the later films that we're seeing, like the screenplay talks specifically about
Yeah.
a silver bullet, but it's just silver in general. There are no silver bullets that get made.
Yeah.
Normal
there are.
bullets, no, there aren't.
They talk about it. They talk about only a silver bullet will do it.
Oh, I don't remember.
At the very end during the hunt when they all have like that little tree post. Unless I'm completely misremembering, somebody yells like, oh, we need the silver bullets. Only a silver bullet will do the beast in or something like that.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Let me see if I have it in my
I don't even
notes.
remember people believing that it's a werewolf. A lot of people don't. It's just a wolf creature that keeps killing. And in the end, of course, it's Sir John Talbot, his father, played by Claude Rains, who it's really a phenomenal scene where the son goes to the dad and he's like, I am a werewolf. Immediately he's telling people, he's like, I am the threat here. You need to help me. I'm going to hurt and I'm going to kill people. And Daddy Talbot, oh yeah?
Yeah, it's in my notes. They mentioned silver bullets, resistant to other forms of munitions.
Wow, nice.
So, yeah, that is the first mention of a silver bullet never kills anyone in this movie. They just
Yes.
mention it because both werewolves die to
The cane.
The cane, which I believe you were just about to get into, not to cut you off.
Yes. So he goes to his dad, and his dad goes, I will show you that you are just crazy, son. I will tie you up to this chair, and I will leave you in front of this window while the moon turns, and you'll see how crazy you are when the next day you're here, and, like, not a werewolf. And the son is just like, please. And it's so great. The being like, please, Dad, I know you're going to like go out to just hunt the creature or whatever. Please take the cane just in case.
Yeah, which I think is kind of like a wonderful little decision because a lot of... We talked about this during the movie as well, that a lot of werewolf media, they'll like try to hide the secret as much as possible and do everything they can to like prevent something bad from happening to both the people around them, but also to themselves. And the fact that he both goes out of the way to be like, I am the monster, and then arm his father with the thing that can kill him. To be like, yeah, if I do turn into the monster, if you do encounter the monster, me, kill it.
Yeah, it's
this
a
will-
really painful thing. Like
It's horrific.
it's great. It's a wonderful like why werewolves are like such a cool sort of story structure where it's like those are crazy stakes. Those are crazy decisions that you have to make. Like seeing the pentagram in the palm of the person you love is so good. Oh, it's so good.
Which is another thing. She survives.
She does because it's like you kill me first.
Yeah. Yeah, his father gets to the two of them just as he's about to kill her. And he's able to kill the Wolfman. And yeah, that was something that I was not expecting. I don't know why. Maybe it's like a Mandela effect thing, but I remember her dying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No, you gotta leave the heroine alive. You don't want her to die.
Well, yes. But like at the end of a lot of other media, the creature ends up killing their love accidentally. Like, I know at the end of Van Helsing, he kills, spoiler alert for everything, Hugh Jackman's character kills the lady, whatever her name is.
Why do I only remember?
Whatever, we'll get to that in the next episode.
Yes, I do remember the death and all that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, maybe it's a lot more like modern movies and modern takes have, like the love interest dying at the end because of the beast. But
Maybe
no,
I don't know a ton that would necessarily follow that.
Yeah, fair. It might just be my own bias, but yeah, no, I fully expected that she was going to die, and then she lived, and I was like, oh, damn, look at that.
Yeah, and it's just like a good haunted ending of. I mean, also just being the dad and not believing in the werewolf, and then having killed this creature, and then it transforms into his son.
And then, yeah, it does the transformation right in front of him, which I think is quite interesting, that the transformation occurs, like, directly after death.
Yeah, of course. You revert to the form you are, typically.
Well, no, because Bela's character remained a wolf for quite a bit, because,
Not for quite a bit, no.
yeah, Lon Chaney's character remained in the area for a little bit, and he said it was a wolf for quite a while. They only discovered the body of Bela in the morning.
I don't remember him hanging about.
I could be wrong.
I mean, I think he was, attacked, and then... Didn't he pass out?
He did pass out. I am wrong. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, he does pass out. Okay, so then maybe the transfer... Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Then my point's a little bit...
But that's also, a great thing about it is killing a werewolf, and then it reverting to a man. It's like, you murdered a man.
Yeah.
Is a wild bit that it plays within this movie. And that, act of transforming back after the death is pretty wild. It happens in a lot of media. Typically what happens is... For typical werewolves, it's you kill the werewolf and it reverts back to, oh, it was the person, it was the man, it was the soul. But for she-wolves, which we'll review things that have sort of that, a lot of times it's no, the true form was the evil wolf and it was disguising as a human. So you kill that and it turns into a wolf.
I was unaware of this. What media are you talking about?
And it's old poems and shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we'll talk about she-wolves.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. No, that is wild. Okay, yeah, we'll get into that at some point.
Any other topics you want to bring up?
Not... well, okay. Maybe there's one little point. Going back to the idea of, the Mark of the Beast, that is directly relating to, especially at the time, satanic imagery. Mm-hmm. Which... I don't know about you, but today, I would not associate werewolves with satanic activity. I kind of categorize werewolves in their own thing. I would be sooner to associate a vampire with satanic activity, or kind of this opposing Christianity idea.
And I think that's what it is, more the opposing Christianity idea. And specifically, and this gets into the topic I want to talk about, is the Romani people in the film.
Yes.
And specifically that use. In the film, and I'll say it once to be clear what I'm talking about, because I didn't even know that this was a term that's real rough sometimes. And they are referred to and they are credited as gypsies. And... I really have not gone a lot of my life knowing anything about this group of people. Being in America, the nomadic sort of groups of Europe haven't come into play. And I remember it wasn't even until high school that I found out that is considered by some people in the group to be a slur. Some of them have sort of claimed it as what I was sort of looking into, but it shows up in a lot of movies. A lot of werewolf-related stuff, vampire-related stuff. If you go in the Castlevania games, in Simon's Quest 2, the second game, you go into Dracula's castle or any of those castles that have a piece of Dracula's heart, and you're going around and you cannot do anything to it unless you find a Romani person and purchase a stake from them. They are just these helpers. They often are just they know what these things are doing, and they're sort of part of this almost more archaic and more spiritual group that then is put at a dichotomy against like, oh, we're people of science, ha ha ha. But in the end, that's really getting them because werewolves.
Yeah. It almost reads as the way that in Greek mythology, the idea of like the other, the monstrous, the outside of what we would consider safe, where you have a lot of like the Greek peninsulas being relative safety, whereas things like the Chimera are said to be native to, oh goodness, I want to say it's modern day Turkey, which is significantly far away from Greece, and was seen as, oh, things from over there are monstrous and archaic and primitive and unsafe to people, but we over here, we're smart and civilized and advanced. And I mean, yeah, the Greeks were advanced for their time, but that's still the idea of it's not us, so it's the other. And I feel like that trend continues throughout a lot of European history, where the more...
I mean, just a lot of world history. It's like, it's just a form of racism.
Well, yes. But, like, specifically in Europe, having the western side of Europe be more like the, oh, we're civilized and smart and science and math and blah, blah, blah. And anything over there to the east is, like, really bad and terrible and monstrous, which is, yes, just racism and discrimination of groups who are perceived as less than. And it's... with that mindset, it's very easy to see why something like a werewolf or vampire is linked onto any group of people coming from this area of, oh, you're like the bad and the uncivilized, because you are now lumping in this allegory of werewolves and vampires and demons are also the bad and the unknown and the uncivilized, which, yeah, is just, I mean, I think we can acknowledge in the modern day that that's really, really reductive. And
what I always just find crazy about like these movies and the use of like Romani people, or like it's like, oh, this traveling nomadic group and they're magical and they do things so differently, is like when I watched all these films, like when I was younger or like consuming this media, like, I don't think it paints them as, like, any sort of, like, bad light initially. Like, it's so odd because, like, they're in a ways, but they're the ones who know what's up. Like, they're the ones who can stop the werewolf. Like, they aren't the werewolf. Yes, Bela is, but it's like, I don't think that's something that would, like, stop it from being a part of this, like, town in another way. They just are more familiar with it and know how to stop it. And the same thing as it's like Castlevania, it's like this helpful sort of acquaintance. But it's a very odd thing. Even like the most recent piece of media that I can think that uses like Romani people in a very like similar way to this is Drag Me to Hell, which I think is like 2005.
oh,
And that's Sam Raimi. And it's very odd, especially like a more like updated version where, I don't know, it seems very irresponsible or just like negligent to be like using them in like sort of a story structure like this. As like when I was a kid, I didn't know that it was in reference to a real group of people. Like I thought like the term, not Romani, but the other one.
yes.
Like, was just, like, almost a fictional group of people. It's like, cool, magic people, rock on. But to, like, just actually have a group of people and then just sort of characterize them in this way is very odd. But I also think it's a bit peculiar how I rarely think of them in any of these films, like, characterized in a necessarily negative light.
That's interesting because maybe it's how I'm looking at it. But in the Wolfman, not necessarily negative, but it seems like, oh, this group of people brought the werewolf with them. And as much as they know what's going on, the second they realize, oh, it's out there, we're packing up and leaving. Like, it seems almost like the depiction of, hey, we showed up, we left something really bad with you, and as much as we're like used to it and familiar with it and told you how to get rid of it, we're taking off because we don't want to deal with it.
But I mean, it's the same thing where it's like the old lady directly tells like Lon Chaney Jr. She also gives him something that stops him from transforming.
That is true. That is very true.
Like, it is completely his bad that he decides to be like, wear this to protect yourself. It's like, you idiot! She's gonna be protected if you don't transform.
He misinterprets it as wearing this will protect you from the bad, whereas wearing it is going to keep him
Which I can
from...
only think of one other film where that comes up, again, with werewolf lore, and that's Curse of the Queer Wolf, oddly enough.
What?
Yeah, we'll watch that at some point. I need to
figure
talk
we
about
will.
that. But in that one, to stop him from turning into a transvestite,
What?
an old Romani lady gives him a little necklace thing that has a picture of John Wayne on it. Because it's masculine.
Again, fucking what?
Yeah, it's a crazy movie. We'll talk about it.
Oh my god. Okay, anyway. Yeah. Okay, I guess you do have kind of a point. That
But yeah,
it's
it's also like when it's the funeral thing.
Yeah.
And like the people in the village are like, what are they doing? They're celebrating. It's like, you just don't understand their culture, man. Like, chill out. Like,
That's also fair, yeah.
they're just having a, like, I don't know. I very rarely have I ever been like it probably, like, there's definitely ways that it is there, definitely ways to take in. But
Yes.
like watching the movies before, I was like, rock on, this group of people's awesome.
You know what? Yeah, I really vibe with that take. Actually, I would rather see a more positive depiction or more neutral depiction than being portrayed as bringing this evil with them.
It's such I would definitely love to learn more. I just read the book Orlando by Virginia Woolf, and in it, Orlando lives with Romani people for a bit.
Oh, really?
But, you know, then again, it's also not written by, like, a Romani author. Like, it's
Yeah.
very much, like, I would love to dive more.
I agree with that. I feel like, especially if we're going to be doing a topic like this, then I think that's very worthwhile to at least do some diving into.
Yeah, we'll put it on the list.
Yeah, I'm actually going to write that down so I remember, because I would like to do some outside diving of my own.
As you should. All right, so now we're coming to the end of the episode.
So, I think it's time that we introduce, I believe I mentioned it like a couple times before,
Our super sexy rating system.
our super sexy rating system.
Why don't you explain it?
Okay, so our super sexy rating system of werewolves is basically we're looking at if a werewolf and a movie in general is the perfect depiction of a werewolf. And by that, we mean if we were to show any depiction or movie to someone who has no idea what a werewolf is, what depiction would be the best to give
The understanding of what a werewolf.
the most werewolfy werewolf.
And even to sort of say that, we're looking at the piece of a media as a whole. Like, is this the perfect piece of werewolf media? Does it have those themes that go along with werewolf stories? Does it, like, really captivate you? Does it feature not only, like, this, looking at this werewolf, is that what I picture in my head when I picture a werewolf? But is the story as a whole capturing sort of what is a werewolf?
So, theoretically, if the movie does a good job of capturing the idea of a werewolf, but the werewolf itself is very different from a typical werewolf, that could dock points. Inversely, if the depiction of the werewolf is really good, but the movie doesn't do a great job either diving into the werewolf experience or just in general, like werewolf mythology and lore, then that will also dock points. So, with our very first movie rating, where are you putting The Wolfman?
I'm going to put 1941's The Wolfman, not to be confused with 2010's The Wolfman or 2025's The Wolfman.
I'm going to lunge at you.
Not to be confused with
I am going to jump
Werewolf of London, 1933.
out of my seat to, like, just
I'm really It's a very hard choice, I think. I'm going to go with a 4.
Okay.
There's a lot that go into it. You've got the use of silver. Like, you've got not a full moon, but you've got a moon. You've got you got the transformation scenes. You have that inward struggle. You have being bit by another werewolf transforms you. Like, so much of, like, the lore stuff is there. There's very little that isn't there. Like, you even got Wolfsbane in there, which often doesn't like affect anything, but it's got that vibe.
Yeah.
It's so important to the history of what a werewolf is. And a thing that I think gives it a lot of points is it really does the werewolf story very well. Of, like, grappling with, like, I'm a danger to other people. Like, this is the person I love. And it's like, the pentagram is such a weird part, because part of me wants to dock points because, like, that's not a werewolf thing. And part of me is like, but that is such a great way of, like, I know I'm going to hurt the people I love. And I think it does a lot of that really, really well. The only thing I'd take away points for is, like, that's not what I think of when I think of a werewolf. Like, it is completely bipedal. It's got no tail. It doesn't really have large claws. It's hairy, but it has no snout. And so, like, it's kind of hard sometimes to tell that it's even really a wolf. But, like, it is really hard to go above. And even then, it's like, I was torn between 4 and 4.5.
Okay.
Because, yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And you?
So, I think I'm torn between a 4 and a 3.5. Because it's, I think for kind of the same reasons, that's not what I think of when I think of a werewolf. It's so human. And as much as I talked about the design being great and effective, it's not a werewolf. I feel like we have a difference right here of that is the wolf man and not a werewolf. It's a man who has some features that are kind of wolf-like, whereas a werewolf is kind of that perfect 50-50 blend, but also different from both.
Yeah, it's such a thing as well, because what this also has, it has Bela being a werewolf, where he transforms into a full wolf.
I was just going to get to that.
Which I think is great.
Yeah.
Like, it's wonderful. We'll talk about this, like, we'll eventually get to it. In, like, the Werewolf the Apocalypse series, like those like role-playing games, and I played a little bit of the video games, there's 2 different forms. There's one that is a normal wolf, and there's one that's like this half-wolf, like, monster sort of thing.
Yes.
I want to move mine to 4.5.
You're going to move yours to 4.5?
Yeah.
Then I'll probably go with a 4. Because I agree that it's phenomenal with a lot of the different storytelling elements. Yeah, I agree with all of the points you made. The only reason I would dock more points back down to like a 3.5 is I don't like the Mark of the Beast. I don't like the idea of, like, being shown who you're going to hurt next, because the idea of turning into a werewolf, I feel intrinsically, I'm going to hurt the people around me. Or not even that. I feel as though if you have someone marked, then you know that everyone else is safe. Like, you have your next victim marked, whereas if no one's marked, but you know you're going to turn into a violent creature that you don't have control over, everyone's fair game. It could be anyone. It could be 10 people that night. Whereas with this kind of setup, it seems as though it's like one victim. Because Bela just kills woman number 2.
Wow. That's how you see women, Matt.
I cannot remember the characters' names for the life of me. I could barely remember the main character names.
Who's the main character's name?
That's the thing. I know his last name is Talbot. That's it.
Why are you doing this to my man Larry?
Thank you, Lawrence. That's what it is.
It's Larry.
Well, okay, it's Lawrence.
Yeah,
it's shortened to Larry.
Yeah, but only person who calls him Lawrence is his dad.
Yes, but he's introduced to us as
Larry.
Lawrence.
He's Larry.
He's introduced to us as Lawrence Talbot.
Fuck you, he's Larry.
Okay, well, yes, whatever. The point being, I don't even know what point I was making. Oh, yes. It seems like it's one victim a night. Even when Larry is just kind of bumming around as the werewolf for the first time, he just kills the gravedigger. And then immediately after that, kind of takes off. And that's it. And there are no other deaths.
One murder isn't enough for you?
It's bad, but the gravity of turning into a werewolf, and you could go into a home and kill 3 people that night. The next night, you might not kill anybody, but then the next night, you might catch people walking down the street in a group and kill 5 people.
I do think, though, that there is a real delicate balance with something like that, where it's like, if it's a rampaging beast, nom, 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 like it often, like a massacre feels often a lot less stakes than one person, like, being delicately murdered. Not in, like, real life, but in, like, a film. Yes. Like, if you have a bloodbath, like, I don't care if, you know, like at the beginning of Ghost Ship, when the wire comes down and swings and saws the entire boat in half, like, every person cuts them in half except for one girl. I don't know why I'm referencing this movie.
Yeah.
But it kills a ton of people. It's not me going like, oh my God! Like, it doesn't build on top of that because the number's higher. Like, here, I think there's a lot of, like, actual dread where it's like, this is someone I know. Like, I am going to take a life. And I think they play with that weight very well.
I agree with that in terms of the dramatic aspects of having the mark on somebody that you love being like, oh, they are going to die definitively. I'm more talking in, like, put yourself in the shoes of the werewolf, of not knowing how many people you could kill, not knowing who you could kill, not knowing where your next victim is going to come from. That sense of dread, I feel, scares me more. Because if I know that somebody is marked, I can at least take preventative measures. Like, Larry tries to take preventative measures to be like...
That doesn't really work. I mean, that's the thing, is like, one person being marked is like, they're gonna die next.
Well, see, we had that proven wrong, because then she doesn't die.
Well, that's just because he dies.
Well, regardless, if I'm the werewolf, I would rather die than kill someone that I love.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you're going to kill yourself pretty quickly.
I feel that's a preventative measure. But he took preventative measures to, like, give his father the cane and warn him of, like, hey,
I mean,
if you see
you're
the creature,
saying that
hit.
this is specific to the pentagram?
More so, I don't...
Like, that's not the exact same thing you would do if the pentagram didn't exist in the movie?
Not really. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I just don't... I feel like I'm rambling a lot.
We'll watch some other movies.
Yeah,
you tell me what you think then.
Okay. I think I'm just mostly rambling about the fact that I don't like the idea of a victim being marked. I like the idea of, like, it is ambiguous. Of, I have no idea who it could be tonight. It could be no one.
Mm-hmm.
I could go into the woods and, like, hunt a deer and maybe curl up under a tree. And that's
I don't
cool.
know. You gotta eat, man.
You would eat the deer in that scenario.
All right. What's your rating?
I give it a 4. I'll say 4.
And I give it 4.5. 4.5 stars, baby. Bring. All right, Matt. We gotta go.
All right.
Sing us out.
Sing us out?
Sing us out.
All right. What am I singing? Oh, there's a wolf, and the wolf has bitten me. There's hair on my legs, and there's hair on my arms, then it's not supposed to be.
There
Is
a wolf.
at my window.
There
Is
a wolf.
in my mirror.
There
Is
a wolf.
in my soul.
Wow. That was beautiful, man. I
that great?
I really liked it.
Wasn't that great? That was
All
great.
right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, all.
And please download, like, follow, just do everything, please. We really need to get this out there. I love you.
That sounded very desperate. All right. Do all those things. We look forward to doing the next one, and we have a very exciting next episode.
Are we going to say it?
We've already said it multiple times.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we have.
When?
Van Helsing.
Van
There it
Helsing!
is.
All right, goodbye.
All right, bye all.